Hey guys, I'm back, and today we're going over a Venomthrope in today's review. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So this is a very interesting piece. It's not an offensive unit by any means. It's almost, I would say, 100% defensive in every single way. It has some really interesting abilities that add to your defensive attributes to your army, which I'll get into later. But right now, I just want to talk about his stats. So across the board, he's got weapon skill 3, which is average. He's got an above average ballistic skill, which is kind of weird because he has no ranged attacks. He has an average strength of 4. He has an average toughness of 4. He has 2 wounds, which is kind of nice. He has initiative 3, 2 attacks, and a 5-up and horrendous 5-up saving throw. Now, with those stats, he doesn't look like much. I mean, they're actually pretty horrible, especially that wound, the saving throw, and the initiative, and the attacks. But where he really shines is his abilities. He has a lot of interesting abilities. He has an ability called Toxic Touch, which allows him to wound anything on a 2-up. He also has another ability called Toxic Miasma, which means anything that's in base contact with him has to make a toughness test or suffer a wound. And he also has Lash Whips. Honestly, I've never had anyone assault this thing ever. He usually gets picked off, like, from ranged attacks. I mean, I can't think of any other army that would actually assault him or want to assault him. And he's too slow to actually, like, do assaulting himself. So I'm not really sure why they gave him all those abilities. I guess in a pinch, if he gets locked into combat somehow and doesn't instantly die. Because, I mean, the Lash Whips do help have him attack first, but only base contact. So if they're attacking you with more than a bunch of guys not in base contact, then he's probably gonna die because he only has 2 wounds and an average toughness. So that's kind of weird that they would do that. So like, I kind of write off the Lash Whips, the Toxic Touch, and the Toxic Miasma, just because it's just like, if anything's going to engage him, he's probably going to die, and usually he gets picked off by fire until then. Now the one ability that really makes him shine is Spore Cloud. Spore Cloud. Here's what Spore Cloud does. Any friendly unit within 6 inches of this unit can claim a 5+ cover save against shooting attacks. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Let me show you guys an example of how they work. Okay, so you have these Space Marines here. Let's just say you botched your run. So they're going to roll to hit you. They're going to get rapid fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hit. Now they get 7 and 4 miss. That's pretty good from their end. Alright, and then we're going to roll it again because they get rapid fire, so they get another 11 shots. Alright, 1, 2, sorry, I spaced out there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so all in all, they hit me 14 times. So now they got to roll to wound me. So let's see how that goes. Ready? They need 4 up to wound me. Let's see how good they do. Alright, that's a lot of misses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds out of 14 potentials. That's not that bad. So there's 9 potentials there. And now normally they would just die. These gargoyles would just flat out die because the AP of the weapon is better than the AP of their save, which is 6 up. But now because we have our Venomthropes in the back down here, and within 6 inches of the gargoyles, they're all going to get +5 cover saves. So let's see how many will die. Alright, so I saved 2. That's not too bad. I mean, when you think about it, I would have lost 9, but I had the opportunity to save more on a 5-up, and I saved 2. So instead of 9 dying, only 7 died, which is really cool, and that's what I love about Spore Cloud. And it's nice because, like, if you have a huge line of gaunts, like, lined up, and only one of them is within the 6 inches, the entire unit gets this 5+ cover save. And that's why he's 55 points, and that's why he's so good, and that's why I usually end up taking 2 of them if I have the slots to fit him, because the problem is he's an elite slot, and as all you guys know out there, that our elite slots are like the best ones we have in the game, and those fill up the fastest. But the Spore Cloud is definitely his signature ability, It gives monsters creatures cover saves. It gives your gaunts cover saves. It gives anything within 6 inches of it cover saves, which is awesome. And if anyone assaults your guys within 6 inches of the Spore Cloud, if they're in the Spore Cloud, the units in the Spore Cloud, they count as being equipped with defensive grenades, which is awesome. And vehicles that assault the enemies that are within the Spore Cloud have to take a dangerous terrain test. That is his signature ability, folks, and that's why he's a really key environment to any group, and that's why he's really good. Now, for the really bad part, his horrendous toughness 4, he just gets one-shotted. I mean, even with the 5-up cover save, which is nice, and actually technically 4-up if you position him behind units correctly, he can get a 4-up cover save from that. But still, 4-up cover save against a strength 8 lace cannon or a rail rifle with ridiculous range across the board. I mean, they're going to one-shot it. I mean, that's what sucks. It immediately blows up and immediately lose 55 points. That's what sucks about him. He has a horrible toughness. He's not immune to instant death. And he just dies so fast. Honestly, you may, and people will say, well, hey, if they're shooting lace cannons at your Venomthrope, they're not shooting lace cannons at your Carnifex. Well, one, if you're taking Carnifexes, you need to watch my Monsters Creatures Tactica on my original channel. 2, that's great, but it's only one lace cannon, and honestly, like the way I play, I just swarm out. So, like, when the lace cannon shoots something like that that's very important, that sucks. And people will say, well, maybe you can take the Carnifex to counteract that, but it's a lot of points and blah, blah, blah. I don't really want to get into it, but yeah. So you just got to be careful with his positioning. If you can hide him behind terrain so they have no line of sight, that would be awesome. Sometimes, I personally like to take him behind monsters creatures so they can't see him. They can't draw a line of sight to him, which is also nice. But the Venomthrope, all in all, is a great unit to have, you guys. You guys should check him out. Give him a try. Spore Cloud is his #1 ability. And remember, if just one unit out of like a group of 30 gaunts is within the 6 inches, they all get that ability. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, you guys, that's my views on the Venomthrope. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe.